Morning, guys. Anybody here? Hey, Barb.
Hello, Doug.
How are you today?
Are there only two of us today?
So far, people come in a little bit late on these things, but that's okay. It's 11 o'clock right now, so hopefully people are logging in as we speak.
I like that the 9-digit number is in Google Calendar.
The 9-digit number?
Yeah, to log in.
Oh, did I not turn off the password on this one?
No, I don't know. No, it all worked fine. So
That's good.
if it worked for me, you know it's going to work for everyone else.
Hey, Tom. How you doing, Tom?
Hey, Doug. Hey, Barb.
Hi, Doug. Hi, Tom. Hi, Doreen. Maybe. How's your puppy doing, Tom?
Pretty well. Pretty well. So it's I'm glad I got him because it's just me in the house. So it's nice to have something else breathing in here. That's for sure.
He's training you then.
That's right.
Hi, Doreen.
But you're surprised to see me on this video, Doug, knowing how much I hate doing video.
I'm pleasantly surprised. Pleasantly surprised. There were a bunch more people that actually said they were going to be coming into this meeting, so I am going to wait a couple of minutes just to make sure we don't forget anybody or miss anybody.
Sure.
So I hope that's okay with you guys. This is being recorded anyway, so we'll get started in the next couple of minutes, and then I'll post the recording on the Facebook group so anybody who wasn't able to watch.
Not.
Doreen, you there?
Yes, I'm here. I'm just not on camera, but I'm here. I've had a great time figuring this out.
Oh, good. I'm glad you got in. I'm sorry we can't see your smiling face. Mike Dickinson, how you doing? Okay, I'm going to go ahead and get started. Excuse me. Excuse me. Simply for time purposes, okay? So let me just do this. All right, can you hear me?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So at various times you might see different faces up on the top right corner there, depending on who's making some noise at the time, but hopefully when I need to, I can actually show my own picture up here, because there are times I want to show you what I'm working on. So I wonder if I can do pin video. There we go. So now you're just going to see me up in the corner, because from time to time I'm going to show you my phone, okay, potentially as I go through this presentation. Excuse me. So this is Facebook Live for complete beginners like me. I got to be honest with you, I've only ever done Facebook Live a few times. You've seen us do it for the sales meetings a few times. I've tested it out a few times myself, and I've gone on other people's presentations. When Clint and Aaron were doing them a year or two ago, they invited me to participate with them a couple of times. So I've only done it a few times myself, but I believe this is something that we all should be doing, especially now. Now's the time to learn how to use this tool, so that when everything goes back to normal, you're comfortable with it and you can continue to do this going forward, okay? Anybody here actually tried doing Facebook Live before now?
Yeah, I think somebody has with me. Yes.
Okay. Anybody else?
Nope.
No.
No? Okay. All right, so let's get started. So here was what we're going to talk about today, just the basics of actually how to do a Facebook Live, how to get your phone out and turn it on and make it work. Some tips on preparation, just some little things that you might not have thought about in the past. And frankly, there were new things to me when I went looking for some ideas on how to do this presentation for you guys, and some advanced tips to get the most from your Facebook Live videos. It's one thing to go live, but if you make a habit of it and you really want to use this for business going forward, even after we're out of this COVID-19 deal, then having some ideas on how to get the most reach from your videos is probably a good idea too. Okay, so that's what we're going to cover today. So the basics. Before I get into the how, a couple of notes here is don't be alarmed. This is really easy. It's easier than you think to actually get started on Facebook Live. So, and when we go through this, I think you're gonna see that the process is very, very simple. Facebook wants you to do this. They reward you for doing Facebook Lives, so they want to make it easy for you. So you're going to be surprised how easy this is. Number two, have fun with it. Don't take yourself so bloody seriously. That's a problem I've had in the past on this, but the more video I do, the easier it gets. The more I realize if I pretend I'm talking to, my friend, I'm talking to Tom, or I'm talking to Barb here. And even when I'm on Facebook Live and there might be dozens of people watching, just think about talking to one person. It makes it pretty easy. And don't expect perfection the first time. This is the big reason people don't do this, is because they think I've got to be perfect. I got to have great lighting. I got to have a fantastic script. I can't make any mistakes. I can't stumble over my words. I got to do this perfectly, or I might not, I might offend somebody or something silly like that. Get over yourself and just do it. Okay. Because you're never, ever going to be perfect at it. Nobody is. Even if you watch the top people out there that are doing Facebook Lives. I've mentioned the name Gary Vaynerchuk before, and I know some of you might know who that is. He's on Facebook Live and Instagram Live and YouTube all the time doing live stuff, and he screws it up, as smooth as he comes off. That's just confidence. And the fact that he doesn't care. He just keeps going. And there are others like that. So don't expect perfection. You'll never get there. Okay. All we can do is try to do better every time. So how to do Facebook Live in 10 easy steps. Number one, open the Facebook app on your phone. And if you don't have the app on your phone, if you've just been using it on the computer, make sure you go to your respective app store and get it. So you can see there's my Facebook icon on my phone. You just open the app, okay? Number two, you need to decide where you want to have your video appear. So are you going to do this on your personal profile, or are you going to do this in your business page or in a group that you're a part of? Where are you going to run this video? So you need to go to that location first. If it's on your profile, as soon as you open your Facebook app, you're on your personal profile, so you can just do it right there. If you want to do it on your business page, then you have to actually select your business page first before you can do the video, okay? So does everybody understand that? No questions, okay. So go to your page, go to your profile, wherever you're going to do it. So once you've decided where you're going to be, you need to find the section that says write something or what's on your mind, right? So you can see here on the side what it looks like right here. But instead of typing anything, you're going to click the little live button. There's a button there. It's got a little red camera icon with looks like an eyeball in it and the word live. You're going to click that, okay? And then you'll get an option. So let me just show you what that looks like on mine. So you can see where it says what's on your, can you guys see that? What's on your mind? And there's a little live button. I'm going to click that live button. And then you start to see this stuff. See that? See now right there where it says tap to add a description. I don't know if you can read that. Hopefully you can. Tap to add a description. You're going to click there and you're going to put a description of your video in there. People need to know what you're broadcasting about, right? So you're going to tell them, and it'll help them to decide if they are even going to watch it. And the beauty is once you've done your recording and you finish it off and hit share, it's going to be live on your page forever. It's going to be content that stays there forever, right? And having a good description there helps people to find it later. People do search on Facebook looking for information. So if you've got a good description, people will find it later and be able to watch that video later. So does that make sense? Make sure you've got a great description there.
Hey, Doug?
Yeah.
Hey, Doug?
Yeah.
I just wonder, when we go to the live button, like you said, and start filming, does it actually go live, or is it just taping that you can post live later?
No, it's actually going live. When you get to the end and you click share, then it posts it. It saves it on your page for permanent use. Until then, it's just that live video.
Okay,
So people can go in and watch you live. And you'll know they are because they'll start commenting sometimes, right? So you'll actually get some interaction with people while you're doing it, so you know it's live. at the end, when you click share, then it actually saves it for future use. Okay. That makes sense, Jeremy?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. And use some descriptive terms like I've written down here. Use terms that describe what the video is about: virtual open house, daily tip, whatever it might be. Or maybe it's just, I just want to check in with you folks. And so maybe call it a daily check-in, whatever, but use some descriptive terms when you're doing this, okay? Number 5, decide the orientation of your video. So this is a big one. So if I hold my phone up this way, that's portrait, okay? That's portrait view. The issue I have with this, and some people will disagree with me, and that's okay. Portrait view, if I'm on a desktop computer, looks funny because when I watch it back later, there's next to the video, there's like bars that go down the side, right? So it's got like these grayed out sections that appear down the sides, and to me, it just looks odd. So I always suggest people turn your phone this way. Okay, this is called landscape. Okay, if you don't do it this way, it's going to look weird on a desktop. And I know a lot of people are on mobile. And even on mobile, it's going to look okay like this. But if somebody's on their desktop, this is what they want to see. Okay. So, and here's the thing: you can't start your video this way, and then like start your live video this way, and then turn it partway through to go this way, because once you start, it keeps the orientation. So if you start this way and then turn it this way, you're just going to be sideways on the screen. Everybody's going to be watching you, as if you're defying gravity. So pick a direction and stick with it through the whole video. My suggestion is landscape, okay? So once you've decided the orientation, you click that big blue button, and you can see I've got an image here that says start live video, okay? You click that button, and then don't freak out. You're not going to go live immediately. There is a countdown, okay? So you'll, some versions of the app actually have a 3, 2, 1 that'll appear on the screen, and then you go live. Others, the screen sort of flashes for 3 seconds and then it goes live. So when you push that start live video button, take a deep breath, smile, okay, so that when the camera actually does engage, you're prepared, okay? Make sense? Hopefully I'm not going too quickly on this stuff. Okay, step 8. Share and deliver your content, okay? Make sure you're looking at the camera like I am right now, okay? Look at the camera, not the screen. So if I look down at the screen, you can tell that I'm not looking at the camera, right? And the personal connection is lost. So if I'm looking at the lens, you guys feel, I hope, that I'm speaking to you more than if I'm looking down at the screen like this. And now I keep looking down to make sure that I'm getting my content correct. But the more you look at the lens of the camera, the more that personal connection is there, and more people will like and trust you. And that's really what we're trying to go for here, right? When you're done, click finish, and it's just a little button that pops up in there at the bottom right corner of the app. So you can, or the bottom right corner of the screen, click the finish button, and then you're done. Make sure you click the share button. You have some options. So you click finish and then share, and then there'll be options. Do I want this in my feed or in my story or both? Okay, so you choose. Definitely put it in your feed. You might consider putting it in your story as well. The stories are gone after 24 hours, though. They disappear forever. So if you only put it there, it's going to disappear. And the point of this is, hopefully, most of the time you want to create a stable of content. So I wouldn't suggest just putting it in your story. Make sure it goes on your feed too. Okay. So congratulations, you're a star. That's it. It's that easy, guys. That makes sense to everybody?
Good,
We're all
thanks.
we're all stars.
You're all stars. Okay.
Can I ask a question?
Excellent.
Please go ahead.
So because I'm a left-handy person, does it, if you're saying turn it to landscape, do you have to turn it a certain way to landscape, or does it matter?
Doesn't matter.
Okay, so it's
Doesn't
not going to
matter.
be coming upside down because I'm left-handed that I've turned
No.
it the wrong way.
Good question, but that'd be kind of funny actually. But if it did that, but no, it doesn't do that. It will automatically correct. There's accelerometers in your phone that know
Yeah.
which way is up, so
Yeah,
it'll
okay.
correct for it.
Yep, perfect,
Okay.
thanks.
All right, good question. Okay, some tips on preparation. So some things that I hadn't thought of when I first started thinking about this. I went looking for best practices. Plan ahead and write a description of your live video, right? So if you know that on Thursday I'm going to do a video about the delays in getting financing, what's happening in the marketplace today, I'm going to do maybe a 5-minute chat on the importance of making sure that people know it takes longer to get financing. Write out a description. Either on your computer or on your phone, around 300 words. And now I know that sounds like a lot, but it really helps you with your organic search later. So after you've done your video, while you're doing it, people might find you better because of that, but it's really that organic reach after the fact that you're trying to capitalize on. So great description. Make sure that it's actually on your phone before you start, so you can just copy and paste it. If it's on your desktop computer and then you're trying to copy it by hand, it just takes that much more time, right? So more preparation involved. Send it to yourself on your phone, or write it on your phone in the first place, and then you just copy and paste it, okay? Put your phone on airplane mode and turn back on the Wi-Fi. It's happened to me. You guys noted one of our sales meetings we did there a couple of weeks ago while we were presenting. Constantine and I were in the office doing the Facebook Live. My phone rang, and you guys were able to hear it. That'll happen to you too. Okay, so make sure that you put your phone in airplane mode so you can't get calls. There's also a do not disturb function on a lot of phones. That'll work too, so that it just won't ring during your video. I think that's a good idea. And make sure you test everything before you intend to go live. Because if you had set a time in advance, you told people you're going to do this live video, and you didn't bother to test anything, you go to try and it doesn't work, holy crap, it's scary, because what do I do? What do I do, right? You feel like you've made a terrible mistake. And then for some people, that's enough to never try it again. Well, I screwed it up, I'm never doing that again. So make sure you test your gear in advance, okay? Any questions? Okay. So some advanced ideas. It's one thing to do a Facebook Live, and you should do it. Even if you don't pay attention to the rest of this presentation, just go do some lives, get out there and get comfortable with this. But as time goes, you're going to want to make your presentation better and better. So here's some ideas for you. You guys like my Batman cup?
Nice.
Nice.
Pretty cool, huh? My daughter bought that for me for Christmas a few years ago. The beauties of video, right? I can share the fun stuff that I've got in my home office here. Okay, so plan your content. Yeah, so there's 5 parts to this: a hook, introduction, content, summary, and call to action. So briefly, what am I talking about there? The hook is, why do people want to watch? You got to get their attention really quick in the first few seconds of this thing. So if you've got something, I use the example of financing taking longer. So you might say in the first few seconds of your video, if you don't do this when you're setting up your real estate transaction, you might not get the deal to close. There's a hook, right? I'm appealing to people's fear of loss. So find some hook to get people to continue to watch, and then introduce what the content is going to be. Just like I did at the beginning of this video, I showed you an agenda. This is what we're going to talk about today, right? And if you watch at the end, part D here, there's a summary, and I've got that at the end of my presentation as well, okay? So introduction about what you're going to talk about, sort of lay the groundwork of what's going to happen. And then deliver your content, right? So make sure you've got it well planned out, and you can speak coherently about whatever it is you want to talk about. Provide a summary at the end. This is what we talked about today. And then a call to action. Now, if you're running these videos in your business page, and again, during normal times, I'm not suggesting you should be doing lead generation today, but when we get better, and things are moving on, you want to have a call to action. Tell people, look, if you want to reach out to me, this is how you do it. Give them your email address or your Twitter handle, or whatever method you would like them to reach out to you, or visit your website, or go do something. Give them a call to action, okay? Questions on that? Okay. Pick a location. Just like real estate, location is very important when you're doing your videos, okay? You need a spot that's quiet and out of the way. You don't want to have a whole lot of disruptions or distractions. If you picked a spot outside, for example, at the office at Century 21, it would not be a good idea to stand right out at George Street in front of our building to try to do your Facebook Live. It might look impressive, but the sound of the trucks whizzing by all day long, and the neighbors across the street yelling at their kids or whatever is happening out there is going to be distracting to the viewer. So you want to pick a spot that's quiet and out of the way, where there won't be a whole lot of noise, distractions, people walking through the frame, that kind of stuff. Unless that's your intent. If that's what you want your video to show, that's okay. But you got to make sure that you pick a good spot. Test your internet. This is especially true if you're not going to be in Wi-Fi, right? So you're going to try to use your LTE on your phone or your cellular data. Test your internet. But even if you've got Wi-Fi, you want to make sure that you test it. So there's speedtest.net is a website you can go to test. I'm just going to show you an app. So I downloaded this app right here. It's called Speed Check Pro. It's an Android app. I'm not sure if there's a comparable app in the Apple App Store, but Speed Check Pro is really, really good. I start the app. And I can just click retest or test when the app starts, and it just does a test, and it shows me what my internet speed. Now, I'm out in the country here on line of sight wireless, so I tested it before I did this. I'm getting 6.8 megabits download and 1 megabit upload. So this is not ideal. I would try it because it's all I've got, but you're looking for around 2 to 2.5 megabits upload speed, so that you don't have any interruptions in your video feed. Okay, you might get some lag, and it's okay if you're going to have some lag, but tell people at the beginning of the video, just so you know, guys, I tested my internet before I went online. I've only got 1 megabit upload speed, so there might be some lag. Stick it out with me, and let me know if you have any questions at the end if I miss anything, or if you miss anything as a result of my internet speed. Just prepare them for it. Okay, test it 15 minutes before you go live and immediately before you go live. Okay, just so you know what you're dealing with. Get set up. So make sure that you've got your phone, your camera. A tripod is a good idea. I use one of these a lot. Okay, so setting up my phone. This thing's great because it's got the bendy legs. I can attach it to a fence post or a tree, whatever it might be, or even the shelf. Some of you may have walked by and seen it in my office at C21. I actually turned sideways and attached to the shelf. It's a nice stable base to attach my phone. I'll just show you here. And it just sits in there like that. Okay, this works really, really well. These are cheap. You probably get one of these for about 30 bucks. And that's a good one. So nice tripod. Audio is important. You can see I'm using my earbuds today, right, to do this video, because my mic on my computer is poor. It works and it would be okay, but this is much, much better. Okay, even better than that, what I've got here is lapel mics. So if you can see that actually clips on my lapel, and then it's got this connector that just plugs into my phone, just like a headphone jack. Now, if you've got a newer iPhone, you're going to need the adapter, because all you've got is a lightning port on a newer iPhone. But these things, again, this is 18 feet long, dual lavalier, so I can do an interview with somebody. And I think it was like 19 bucks with tax. So really, really cheap. But the audio quality is far superior to the mic on your phone, the open mic on your phone, or the open mic on your computer. Okay, so that's a small investment that I think you really should make. And lighting. If you're outside, lighting is going to be fine. But if you're inside, this room is not ideal. This is what I got to deal with right now, though. You see the big window behind me, the clip causing all that glare. If I had my druthers, I'd be in a different spot where the lighting was better. But I do have a lamp. Right, you can see the light changing. I've got a lamp here, so make sure you get some lighting from the front. If you've got glasses like me, and you're doing this, you can see the glare from the lamp. Really, the best thing to do is to have the light up higher. If I had the light up here and shining down, the reflection would actually be hitting the desk instead of the camera. So that would be ideal. So just some things to keep in mind. Okay. Now, again, don't let it stop you. I'm not letting it stop me here. I got to keep moving forward. But ideally, when you can get a good setup set, these are the kinds of things you want to watch for. Do a test broadcast. So this was an interesting one I didn't even know existed before a few days ago. When you're going to go live on your app on your phone, you can actually choose who can see it. Okay. So if I go back into my Facebook, and I don't know if you can see it, but right up at the top, you see where it says to, and then it says public and post. If I click that and then click see more, some more options come up, and you see where it says only me. I can click only me, hit the little checkbox next to it there, the little circle. And then when I do my broadcast, you guys wouldn't be able to see it. It only appears on my feed, and I'm the only one that can actually see it. And then I can delete it so that it doesn't stay there. But that's a good way to test, is my setup working, right? To see how it looks. And it's a good way for you to practice your material as well, right? Once you've run through your material, especially if it's something you haven't talked about before, or if you really are nervous about this, don't be, but if you really are nervous about it, practicing the material at least once through gives you a bit of a confidence boost, so you know what you're going to say next, right? So that's a good one. Tell people that you're going to go live in advance before you actually go live. Consider doing a post the day before, right? If you're going to do this on a weekly basis or a daily basis, I would have a series of posts that go out in advance to let people know you're going to do this. I've done this in our C21 private group. When I'm going to go live, I will sometimes post in there 5 minutes before. Don't forget, in 5 minutes, we're doing the sales meeting, right? So you should do the same, whether it's on your personal profile or on your business page. Tell people in advance that you're going to go live so you can get a bigger audience watching your videos, okay? Let's see here. And then go live. Deliver your content and have fun with it. Don't be nervous. Like I said before, if you really are freaking out about speaking in front of groups, even though it's just the one camera in front of you, think about talking to one person, right? So just pick somebody that you're comfortable with. Maybe imagine talking to your dog. I don't care. Whatever it is, just pick one person and you're just talking to them. You're having a conversation with them, okay? Don't overthink it too much. So what we covered today, remember back, I told you to do a summary. Here's my summary. We talked about the basics, how to get your setup done and actually do a Facebook Live, the mechanics of it. Some tips on preparation, things like turning off your ringer so that people can, so you won't be interrupted by phone calls, that kind of thing. And some advanced tips to really get the most from your Facebook Lives, okay? Things like planning in advance, get your write-up done in advance. Things like lighting and testing your internet speed, all that kind of stuff. Okay, so that's what I have for you guys. That's the end. Do you have any questions for me?
Oh, it was good, Doug. Thanks.
Okay.
Now I'm scared to death, but other than that,
Why would
No,
here's
I
the thing.
just said-
Don't be scared. Just do it. Have some fun with it. And you know what? The first few that you do, get on there and say, hey, I've never done this before. This is really, I'm nervous about doing this, but I thought I'd give it a try. And what do you guys think? How can I make this better? What would you like to hear me talk about? And just be honest and open about it. Have some fun, okay? People will appreciate it and you'll actually get better viewership as a result, okay? There's a chat question. Oh, you're welcome, Lee.
Thanks, Doug.
You're welcome, Doreen. Okay, if there's no more questions from anybody, then we'll call it a day. And I wish you the best. Stay healthy. Okay?
thanks, Doug.
You're
Take
welcome.
care.
Thanks, everybody.
See you
Have
later.
a good day.
Thanks.
Take care, Doug.
Bye now.